But given that Hezbollah's response on October the 8th was to start unleashing rockets at Israel, which they carried on doing all year, at what point did they not expect...
They didn't unleash rockets at Israel. Mehdi Hassan already told you that. They immediately Shabah farm, which is...
No, he was splitting hairs.
What?
He was splitting hairs.
No.
Well, okay, but it's land that Israel's claimed to disown since 1967.
Yeah.
Okay, so they say it's theirs.
You know, but you know what's the difference?
But they knew what they were doing.
You know what's the difference between Hezbollah and Israel? Although I'm not a big fan of Hezbollah. Hezbollah always targets military bases.
That's not true. They've killed civilians.
Yeah, how many?
Not as many as Israel. But they've killed civilians.
They killed 42.
So, but the idea that, so the idea they're only targeting military.
And Israel killed 1,000. 1,000 for 42. That's like a 1 to 20.
But they've also targeted thousands of Hezbollah very precisely with these pages.
And then they killed 1,000 people.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not really targeted. And when you go and vaporize a whole square or a whole block, killing 200 people. I mean, the thing is, we talk about terrorism, right? We talk about terrorism, right? But we never...
Is killing terrorists, even if you kill civilians in the process, is that in itself an act of terrorism to you?
Oh, so what's the proportionality,
you
right?
You tell me.
I know, I don't know, but it's not 1 to 1,000.
But if you keep saying you don't know, it's a convenient get out. You're a very smart guy.
Will you do the same thing? I ask you, what should the Palestinians do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but your answer to whenever I say, what should Israel do? You don't have one for any of it.
Stop what they're doing. That's actually what they know. I do know. They should
hang on.
them.
Yeah, but I'm not sure you do, because you don't like Hamas, you don't like Hezbollah, you don't like terrorism. You know they've been waging terrorism against Israel. I don't know what you expect Israel to do.
What do I expect Israel to do? What do I expect the people that actually have received the occupation and the killing of Israel every day? I mean, like, you're killing them. I mean, should they just, like, stay silent?
So they're all resistance, all freedom fighters?
Yeah, for their people, yes.
In your mind, are they?
If I was living in Palestine, or if I was living in Lebanon, I would actually cheer on those people, because basically they're the bigger bully with bigger guns. They're killing me. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of people who live there don't agree, but no. I don't know.
A lot of people I know in the Lebanon do not agree with that.
Yes, I understand. But
they think Hezbollah has been a very insidious influence on their country.
Of course. But, like, even those people who hate Hezbollah, they don't like what Israel is doing to them.
But what is it? About 30% of people in Lebanon support Hezbollah. 70% don't.
I don't have these numbers.
2/3 of the country don't support them.
Yes.
They don't represent the people.
Oh, good. So they don't represent the people, and yet you're killing people around Hezbollah, even if they don't represent them. So why?
Well, they're killing, in their eyes, they're killing terrorists.
Well, in their eyes, they're doing whatever. In their eyes, they were thinking that whatever school that they bombed in Egypt was inside the military base.
Do you accept, as we've been talking, though, that it is complicated? It's not simple.
No, it's not really complicated. There is an occupation that should end. If the occupation didn't happen, all of that wouldn't have happened. This problem was pushed...
You believe it, if the occupation, as you put it...
Yes.
And I don't dispute the terminology, but if you believe if they just ended that tomorrow, any form of control over Palestine, there would be no more attacks or ideology of wanting to attack Israel after that. See, I think it's very naive. There would be. These groups are wedded to the elimination of Israel. Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, Iranian regime, they want Israel done, gone. And
there's a lot of countries in the world that
surrendering any kind of control over Gaza, for example, is not going to stop that. So how do you
keep doing it, right?
Well, no, but how do you move to a place where you no longer do it? You don't expose your country, as they put it,
as
to
much as I don't like all of these groups that you have mentioned, but those people have actually it's a kind of it's a cause and effect, right? Because again, and Mehdi Hassan told you, there was no Hezbollah in 1978, there was no Hezbollah in 1982. And there was no Hamas in 1948, and there was no Hamas in 1970s.
But the ideology existed.
Really?
Yeah, the groups weren't set up, but the ideology existed.
Where was the ideology in 1978?
Well,
where were Hezbollah?
You don't think anyone in those places hated Israel in 1978?
Israel doesn't need an excuse to go in and occupy and kill people. They're already talking to you about...
But they say they do.
But the thing is, Pierce, you already have people in Israel talking openly about a greater Israel, about like a huge expansion of Israel. Tomorrow, they will find a Hamas in the West Bank. They will find a Hezbollah in Jordan. They will find a Houthi in Syria.
What do you think they really want to achieve, Israel?
Expansion.
But to what end? To what?
I don't know. You should ask them, because they have...
I do ask them, and they deny it.
They have been...
Of course.
Well, how many times did they deny things, and how many times did they deny killing UN workers? How many times did they deny? And the thing is, Pierce, you can talk whatever you want about the Houthis and the Hezbollah and whatever, but you have liars.